Hi everyone. Lee and I were sitting in a restaurant the week of Easter, having lunch, when it suddenly occurred to us that we could splash in a week's time if everything went according to plan. It didn't, and now we're faced with a dilemma. The cruising season here in the Sea of Cortez is ending. Hot weather will shortly be here. We've already had a couple 100-degree days. Hurricane season begins June 1st, and we also plan to spend 2 weeks at the end of May up in California to attend our daughter's college graduation. Historically, hurricanes don't come this far north until August. So conceivably, we could have a few weeks of local cruising, just hanging around on this side, going between here, Guaymas and San Carlos, and maybe even further north, or we could begin some major projects now and definitely be ready to splash mid-October. We're not sure which way to go, and we waffle back and forth on this depending on the day of the week. I'll be uploading this video in 2 parts because bandwidth is an issue here. So we'll talk about some of the things that have gone right, some of the things that we've had problems with, and the big projects we hope to accomplish. One of the jobs we knew we would have to do before splashing was to go up the mast. We would be checking for anything amiss with the standing and running rigging. I volunteered to go up. I had never been up a mast before, and part of it was to see if I could handle the heights. I loved it. I loved the view, and I liked coming down the backstay to entangle the topping lift and then swinging through the air to the mast. The reason I was able to enjoy the trip up was feeling confident in the safety arrangements and having a very comfortable bosun's chair. I also wore a climbing harness with a safety line as a backup in case the primary arrangement failed. Of course, having a calm, beautiful day was great too. I lubricated sheaves, blocks, and the mainsail sail track, and I am pleased to report everything aloft was as it should be. One of our big variant winches in the cockpit was frozen, and upon taking it apart,
these must have been kind of stuck and they weren't clicking, so if I take this,
maybe it just got all gummed up.
Draw a piece of this comes apart.
Oh, fantastic.
Turn the handle and see if they click. Oh, that's not turning, is it?
Mm-mm.
Turn. Okay.
That's where it froze.
Yeah.
So you had to use brute force to.
Yeah, it was just stuck.
We discovered the winch was simply frozen by dirt and excess grease crud. Once all the parts were thoroughly degreased, we replaced 2 prawls, all the springs, lightly oiled the prawls, and greased the gears before reassembling it. It works like a charm now, and it became my job to service the remaining winches. We have an assortment of makes and sizes, so each type required a slightly different disassembly. Once again, the internet was invaluable for YouTube videos and maintenance manuals. While not essential for splashing, it's a good idea to keep up with varnishing, given all the wood we have. When Lee took the Tufesa bus to California, I varnished. Lee brought back the replacement seals for our Maxwell windlass and reassembled everything. Here he is scraping off the old sealant under our foredeck awning. The breeze and shade made the temperatures here very pleasant. When the rudder was remounted and the prop shaft had been to the machine shop to verify it was straight, it was time to replace the shaft with the addition of a new cutlass bearing. Omar, our diesel mechanic, drilled the holes for the cutlass bearing set screws in the outer shaft tube. Then, using a tap, cut threads for the screws. With a small timber, he gently tapped the bearing into place. After tightening the set screws, he was ready to insert the prop shaft. Using liquid dish soap as a lubricant, the shaft slid easily into place. Once the dripless seal and the flange had been seated, the prop was reattached.
Super duper!
In these before and after pictures, you can see how disintegrated the anode was. At least this part of the boat is ready for the water. As you can see, things are coming along. 2 major projects that will be done this summer are completely rewiring the boat, and I want to pull the teak deck off and put down non-skid. I know, teak looks so nice, but it's hot on the feet, it leaks, and there is a lot of maintenance involved. In part 2, which I hope to post in a couple of days, I'll talk more about things that are coming together and things that have set us back, and where we are on the splash question. So until then,